The 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup is officially here, and it's starting at 2 a.m. Central Time, 3 a.m. Eastern Time, US. And it is going to be taking place in New Zealand and Australia. Now they have the opening ceremonies, and the first game, of course, I just told you, is 2 a.m. Central Time. And yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at the two teams competing in this game, and then the other two games. We'll be looking at those two teams, as well in their background from the 2019 World Cup, and then their rosters heading into this one. And I'll officially give my prediction on today's three games for the World Cup. This team finished second in their group in 2019, only right behind France. They are Norway. They went two wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss, with 6 goals and 3 against. They also advanced to the knockout stage, where they ended up going all the way to the quarterfinals against England, but falling to them 3-0. And yeah, they that's a pretty good time for Norway, and they are facing one of the worst teams from that World Cup, and that's New Zealand. New Zealand, they finished dead last behind the Netherlands, Canada, and Cameroon, and they went 0 wins, 0 draws, 3 losses. They only scored 1 goal the entire cup, and they allowed 5 goals. So you have 4 goal differential, and they just didn't get any points in their group, and one of the only teams to really do that in the entire group stage, other than Jamaica, and South Africa, and South Korea also did that as well. And yeah, just a lot of teams just didn't perform. And of course, New Zealand was one of them, and we'll have to wait and see what they can do in this World Cup and today's game. If they can knock off Norway, who are one of the best teams, of course, heading into this cup. So let's take a look at New Zealand's roster and who their 2 captains are. They do have 3 reserve players on the list. And yeah, here we go. Alright, so they do have 3 goalkeepers: Erin Naylor, Victoria Essen, and Anna Leet. Those would be the 3. And they've been on the national team before. I think Erin Naylor will probably either her or Victoria Essen will probably be the starting goalkeeper. I think it'll probably be Erin Naylor. She's had 84 caps compared to Essen's 16. So we'll just have to wait and see. It could also be Anna Leet. We'll wait and see. I think all 3 of them can have time in this cup. Next up, we have Claudia Bundy. For defensive men, then we also have CJ Bott, Michaela Foster, Ali Riley, who is one of the captains, and then Rebecca Stott, Katie Bowman, and Elizabeth Anson. And I think the starting defensive men, one of the starting defensive men, is going to obviously be Ali Riley, the captain. Age 35, this will probably want to be her last World Cups. She scored 2 goals in the national team with 154 caps. I think this is a really good try here. She plays currently in the U.S. For Angel City Football Club of the NWSL. And yeah, I think this is a really good try, really good for her. All right, next up we have middle forwards Rhea Percival, who's also the vice captain. She plays in England for Tottenham Hotspur. And then you have Malia Steinmetz, Daisy Cleverly, Annalie Longo. Then you also have Olivia Chance and Betsy Hassett. And yeah, a lot of old guys on the old girls on this team. You have a lot of experience, especially in Rhea Percival, 15 total goals in her career for the national team, and Annalie Longo as well with 15, and then Betsy Hassett with 13. And yeah, so overall, I think forwards will have the most goals combined for a position added up, which you have Gabby Rennie with 2, Paige Tashel with 2, Jackie Hand with 2, and then here we go, Hannah Wilkinson at age 31 has 28 national team goals, and 28. So Grace Jail with 2, and then India Paige Riley with 0, and Miley Clegg with 0. And Miley Clegg, this will be her first World Cup. She is age 17, and it's crazy. So the 3 reserve players for New Zealand are Ava Collins, Kate Taylor, and Grace Wisniewski. Will be the 3 reserve players here for New Zealand, and they are headed by head coach Jitka Klimkova. She will be the head coach of the team here. So New Zealand now heading on to Norway. They have, of course, the 3 reserve as well. We'll go ahead and look at this. So we don't have much experience here for the goalkeepers for Norway, but I think they will be still pretty good. You have Cecily Fisterstrand, Aura Mikkelsen, and Guro Pedersen. They will be the 3 goalkeepers on this team. They're all around middle age, so it's not like they're super young or super old. All right, now we're looking at the defensive men. We have a very talented girl in Marin Mahody, one of the captains, and she plays in England for Chelsea. She scored 20 goals in her National League career, and she is 33, so she will have more of those. And then you have Anja Sandstavold will also be on there with 1 goal. Tuva Hansen with 1. Guro Burstfand with 4, and then Mathilde Harviken with 0, and then Marit Bratberg Lund with 0 as well, and then Sarah Hart with 1 national team goal. Alright, here we go. We also have one of the most experienced positions on this team in the middle forwards. So you have Guro Wrighton with 17, Frida Monum with 11, Vilde Risa with 2, and then Endrin Siderstad Endin with 3, Julie Blackstad with 3, and Thea Behaldi with 0. And then we're getting to the most experienced on this team. We have 2 really good players. We have Caroline Graham Hansen with 44 total national team goals, Emily Harvey with 16, and Ada Henderberg with 43, Karina Zivrik with 6, Sophie Roman Hogg with 5, and then Anna Hosendahl with 0 as well. So the 3 reserve players, they're going to be Elizabeth Terland, Emma Stolen-God, and Malin Bryn. They'll be the 3 reserve players here for Norway. So those are the 26 players, 52 players I just named off, that are competing for these 2 teams here in the World Cup. And yeah, that'll be it for the first 2 in the first game. So my prediction for this game, New Zealand and Norway, I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say Norway will win. New Zealand is just not prepared, as they finished dead last. They might be lucky if they get like a win or a draw in this World Cup. So I think Norway will win it against New Zealand, one of the hosts of this cup. Right, so the next game will be Australia and Ireland. This game is an interesting one, as Ireland was not in the 2019 World Cup in France. This one will be interesting, obviously, and Ireland has never really made a World Cup really that much before, and we'll just have to see how they will do. They have never made it into, as they did not qualify in 1991, they did not enter 1995, and they did not make it through 1999 and 2019, and they finally qualified in 2023. So, Ireland, everybody. So we're looking at each team. This will be taking place in Australia, and it will be taking place at 4 a.m. Central, 5 Eastern time, and it will be at 7 p.m. time in Australia. And yeah, So let's take a look at the roster for Australia, and let's look at their place in the 2019 World Cup. They finished second place in Group C behind Italy. They had a record of 2 wins, 0 draws, and 1 loss. And they finished behind Italy in front of Brazil and Jamaica. So they did end up scoring 8 goals, and they allowed 5 goals, so they had a goal differential of +3, which is good. They made it to the knockout stage. And then Australia ended up losing to Norway in penalty kicks 4-1. It was tied 1-1 after the first 130 minutes. And then they ended up going, of course, into the penalty kicks. So anyway, Australia lost to Norway. And, yeah, this is a really good game. And, yeah, let's take a look at the rosters. Alright, for Australia, Lydia Williams, who has a lot of caps, 102. She'll most likely be the starting goalkeeper at age 35. Tegan Micah will be another goalkeeper along with Mackenzie Arnold. Alright, next up for the defensive men, one of the most experienced girls will probably be the starter, and Claire Polkinghorn. She is age 34. Alright, the other ones you have is Courtney Nevin, Avi Luke, and then the vice captain and Steph Catley, Alana Kennedy, Claire Hunt, Ellie Carpenter, and Charlotte Grant. Next up for the middle forwards, you have Claire Wheeler, Alex Chaddock, and then another talented girl at age 30 with 30 goals, with Emily Van Edman, and then Tamika Yalp with 12 at age 32, and Katrina Gorey, 17 goals at age 30, and then of course you have Kyra Cooney-Cross. For the forwards, you have Courtney Vine, Caitlin Ford at age 28 with 29 goals, Mary Fowler with 10, Haley Rasso with 12, Kaya Simon with 29, and then the captain, Sam Kerr, with 63 goals at age 29. And yeah, so this is a really good job here. And now let's take a look at the Republic of Ireland. For Ireland, of course, you have 23 active players. For the goalkeepers, you're going to have Courtney Brosson, Grace Mullooney, and Megan Walsh. The starter, I will guess, will be Courtney Brosson at age 27. We'll just have to wait and see. Next up, you have Claire O'Riordan. For defensive men, Chloe Mustaki, Louise Quinn, Naim Fahey, Megan Connolly, Diane Caldwell, Aine O'Gorman, Heather Payne, and Isabel Atkinson. The most experienced girl on this list will probably be Louise Quinn at age 33 with 15 goals, and it could also be Diane Caldwell at age 34 and Aine O'Gorman with 13 goals at age 34 as well. They do have a player that plays in college for Florida State. And moving on now for the middle forwards, you have Rusha Littlejohn, Denise O'Sullivan, Katie McCabe, who is the captain of this team, and with 18 goals in her career at age 27. And then you have Lily Agg, Lucy Quinn, Sinead Fairley, and Claire Grant. Alright, for the forwards, you have Amber Barrett, Kyra Carusa, Abby Larkin, and Marissa Sheva. The most experienced one in the forwards are going to be Amber Barrett, age 27, with 7 goals. They do have a 18-year-old in there as well. And so overall, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Ireland will knock Australia off in this game. Just going out on a limb here. Alright, so moving on to another game.